to score some runs. It just now gave me the live. All right, folks, so my apologies, but a snafu with the technology here, and it looks like our main battery hub just completely quit on us a couple of times. And so our stream went down there for a short while. What you missed as far as the action goes was not a ton. A number of ground balls being put into play and mishandled out in the field. Boys making their way on base either via walk, hit by pitch, or reaching on air. And really aggressive at the very beginning of the inning. And then slowing that effort down a little bit as that inning wore on. So current score now 16-0, and it looks like Brooks Carr is up on the hill for us right now. So Brooks with a nice looking off speed there, a little bit outside. Our sole left-handed pitcher on the team, Brooks with just one inning pitched so far this season. No earned runs, no runs, and just 13 pitches pitched in that one inning. Ball in play, Brooks handles it, and that's going to be good for out number one. Brooks doing a good job getting to that ball, getting the glove on it, and then sticking with the play. And so one batter, one out. You know, we've talked about it plenty in the past. Brooks, not one of the guys that's, just going to kill you with the velocity, but he's got good control. And good control and good movement on his pitches. I know he's been working here in the offseason on his pitching in particular. And, it's one of those unique things. If you are a left-handed guy, getting somebody up there and getting a different look, he may not be one of these guys that overpowers, batters out there at the plate. But done a good job for us so far this year, and I hope that will continue here as we get a spare ball out there from another field, and play pauses momentarily. Did you push both buttons? Both. Swing and a miss. And that'll be strike three. So strikeout for Brooks right there, and that's going to be two down. And my apologies, Brooks. We're not doing a good job here. We've had a number of technical difficulties, and I want to get you some better looks on that video when you go back to look for it. So first pitch there, ball in just a little bit high. All right. So our entire live stream went down, guys, and so we're scrambling trying to get that thing back up. Had to restart our pocket radar. Last pitch coming in 55 miles an hour.
Funny story. On the original live feed, Scott Larson had a comment.
I don't blame him.
And he said, well, no, it wasn't about the live stream dying. I'm hoping he's on because it looks like we've got a couple folks watching, but he said something like, listen, I know you got 1,000 things to do, but I really need you to be up and live 30 minutes before the game. I'm 1,000 miles away, and I'm trying to watch my son.
Oh.
But I don't think he's watching right now because he gave up.
Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry, Scott. And if you end up watching it back and whatnot, obviously Jacob with a couple at-bats. And I tell you what, from a play-by-play perspective, I totally flubbed it
Twice,
on,
not once,
on
but
both
twice.
of his at-bats. So, I'm owing Jacob Larson a nice cold Coke or something because just a really bad job on that. So, did we get a strikeout there?
That was a ball.
That was a ball.
I believe.
Okay.
That was a ball.
All right, so that's ball number 4, and that one gets away from Brooks with a little bit of a wild pitch right there. So struggling with a little bit of control here early, and, that's something that we've seen with a lot of the pitchers. Pretty much every pitcher that we've had up on the bump has struggled with their command a little bit. Not to be unexpected here in early spring. I would say, maybe the exception on that was possibly Logan Peterson. Pitching really well in that first game against the TS Storm, and all out of sorts here.
Foul.
And a foul ball. This is to number 5, Nicholas, up at the plate. Big kid. You figure he's got to have a little bit of power if he can get behind the ball. Runner on first base. Runner goes. Throw goes down. And throw is well off the mark. Ryder comes well off the bag to try to get that and had just absolutely no chance on it. But it looks like they called him out for interference out there at second base. And so that's going to be out number 3. And I'm not sure if we have to play another half inning or not.
You've got one kiddo heading to second base. He's ready to play. Looks like they're going out, so.
Well, that's the one thing about, baseball and things like that. So many adults, get caught up in the competition of it all and whatnot. But kids play a game and play a sport because they love the sport. And so regardless of what that score might be, it's good to see that there's some positive energy out there and some of these guys on the base Invaders really hustling out and taking the field.
Scott Larson says, no, I'm watching that feed. I'm watching. Thanks for the feed. Love it. Thanks. Well, Scott, after we flubbed it and the cameras went down, I'm really impressed that you came back and hung out with us. So I appreciate it.
Well, and I know Jacob does, of course.
Oh
right?
yeah, I'm sure Jacob loves it.
Yeah.
But we were. It was up at a Tucker was at bat when it went down, and I was getting ready to switch cameras, and then our whole control board just went completely black, and I was like, "That's not good. That can't be good."
Catastrophic failure.
Catastrophic failure.
Need some more redundancy in the.
Oh please! I think you need to order some more stuff. I saw you have a new device in the trailer that you brought tonight, and you've yet to tell me what it is. But it's big. Looks like some sort of antenna. It's got a fancy arm. I don't know. Why don't you go ahead and tell me what it is, Robert Lee?
Well, I'll share with our viewers online, but it's the sole new piece to the entire setup this year.
Oh boy!
And it's the only addition that I had. It is an antenna. It's specific for cellular bands, and what it's really good for, aside from just improving the signal strength, it's about. It's about not improving the signal strength, but the reception of it, and so what it'll do is it'll create fewer lost packets. And so when you see that that jitter, that little jitter when you're watching and stuff like that, you'll see that from time to time, and that antenna is supposed to significantly help with that.
That's good. I want less packets in my life, so I'm glad that you bought it. I'm really glad that.
Well, there are certain fields where we have a weaker signal where that is going to make a huge difference. Right now, we've got an excellent stream going, and so unfortunately, it wasn't a cellular issue that took things down today. It was the battery pack.
I call it user setup error. That's where I'm going with.
I've never seen it happen because you and I were both sitting here in the same spot.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I'm picking on you.
I don't know, but we've got number 36 Austin Strength up the plate, and I was talking about Austin here, but he got he got some action here pretty early in his first at bat, but Austin just kind of lights out in that first tournament, hitting 600, and with an on-base percentage of 667, continuing his strong hitting ways, and had a nice one over to the right side here for his first at bat. 2 RBIs, a couple runs. Did have 1 walk, and ended up with a stolen base. So
we have a question from our live chat. Somebody's asking if they call the game after a certain number of runs, and I believe it's 16 after. It's 16 runs after any inning, but I think they're letting them play.
So Austin Strength puts one in play over to shortstop, and Base Invaders making a nice play and getting it out there here in top of the second.
So do I need to look up USSSA rules for 14U? Is that what I look up?
So that is going to bring up who? None other than Jacob Larson.
Gets hit with a pitch.
And so Jacob Larson has number 17 that he's wearing. And I think back in fall he was wearing number 33.
No. I'm just making that up. He probably was. What's this kid's name up to bat?
Logan Peterson.
Are you sure? Foul ball.
Well, I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I'm just trying to call the game, and it's frustrating. But at any rate, Jacob got hit by a pitch, and that brings up Logan Peterson to the plate as he fouls his first one back. High fly ball. He gets well underneath that one. That one is about a mile high, and the Base Invaders are not able to come up with that one. So 2 runners on. As Paul McClenny hustles out and steps into the box. Hard hit left side. That one is foul. So modest leads, nobody's stealing, nobody's running. Score still 16-0. Pass ball on a wild pitch. And so those are actually 2 different baseball terms. It's actually a wild pitch, not a pass ball. It's called a pass ball if the catcher should have had it and couldn't get it.
All right, so here's the mercy rule on USSSA.com. Mercy rule is for 13U to 18U is 15 runs after 3 innings or 2.5 innings, so obviously if it's home. And then it's 12 runs after 4 or 8 after 5. So if we hit the 3rd inning and the score is the same, the game will be over, if I'm reading that correctly. Correct? Oh, monster hit out to left field.
High fly ball, this one left side.
Oh. All the way to the fence. Jacob scores. Logan's going to score. And
yep, that will be another infield home run for Paul McClenny this time.
Go 2-7.
So that brings up number 27, Tucker Lee, to the plate. Big swing and a miss. And that ball well outside, coming in 53 miles an hour. Tucker fouls that one back. And batting just .250 in that first tournament, but with an on-base percentage of 500. Tucker with a couple RBIs, 3 runs, 2 walks and 3 stolen bases. And he takes another ball there. So a couple foul balls, a couple well outside. And this one coming in actually out in the ground, kind of just a little bit behind Tuck. And that's going to make it for a full count. So failed to mention it earlier, but that is number 6 up on the hill. That's Franklin Palmer. Oh, and a strike 3 call. Tucker didn't swing the bat on that one.
Yeah, that's surprising because it came right across the plate. That's a bummer.
Well, I tell you, it's tough with these guys who spend a lot of time practicing, playing at a certain level, and this pitch is not coming in, real hard. But, give credit where credit's due. A strike is a strike, and if it comes across the plate,
you got to protect it.
Got to be swinging. So it's tough to sit on those slower ones. But Palmer finding the zone and working his way to 2 outs here in top of the second. The other thing that you'll see, too, is that the umpires will – widen that strike zone too. They see the lopsided affair, and they're not trying to make a game miserable for anybody. So they'll widen up that strike zone from time to time in a situation like this. Nice hard hit ball. That one's going to get through, and Brooks Carr on base with a single.
That's a nice solid hit.
So see some lightning off here to the east. I know we've got some weather rolling in here. Supposed to be about 11, 12 o'clock this evening. And we have weather all through the evening and into the early morning. We'll see how that lines up for our contest tomorrow. Right now, currently slated to play again tomorrow at 12 noon. Currently number 11, Evan Book at the plate. So Evan with a couple of runs in that first tournament, also had a walk. Ended up on base this past last inning. Little dribbler right up the left. Catch hustles down and makes a nice play out there to second, but unfortunately, the second baseman is not able to catch that. So that'll be I think I would rule that one an infield single, but you might call it an error because the second baseman didn't catch it. But now a couple runners on, second and first, and that brings up Grant Kelly again.
Would that have been reached on error or just an out?
Well, it wasn't an out.
Well, he threw it to second. He would have gotten him out if he would have caught it at second, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well hit ball. This one third side, and third baseman's not able to handle that one. Boys hold up, and that will load the bases. It's a nice hit for Grant. Him not being able to join us in that first tournament, good for him to see some live pitching, and comes up with a nice hit there. So we're back at the top of the lineup again. Reed Eckert starts that one off with a couple of foul balls out here to the right side. So you see these boys continuing to try to sit and wait on these pitches to kind of come in. And you got to give it to the base invaders. Parents still over here cheering on the right side. Coaches as well. Ball in play. This one over to second base. Second baseman comes up with a nice glove. And throws not in time, so that'll come down as an infield single. So a bit of a wild pitch there to start. Ryder with a strikeout on his last AB. Always so patient and disciplined up at the plate. I'm sure he was more than frustrated by that, same as Tucker Lee was here earlier this inning. Count now 2-0. So missing a couple of guys in our roster, and I think I called it out earlier here at the beginning of the broadcast, but Arlo Mai missing in action, and as well as Odie Saxon and Harrison Perkins. So guys that obviously are integral components of the lineup, and not glad to see them missing this evening, but boys faring okay at the moment here without them. So ball well outside, and again, that one coming in 50 miles an hour. And credit to Palmer out there on the bump, just continuing to work his counts, throw the ball, and more or less a positive
He's got a positive disposition.
Indeed.
In a tough situation. That's really good. Strike.
That either dad or mom, and you can update. There's a couple of new features within Sideline HD where the guys are able to say who their favorite player is out in the bigs. They also have a new thing where you can say what kind of stick he's swinging. So Tucker, for example, swinging a D Marini. So Jacob here in this first tournament actually hitting really well, 500, on base percentage of 778, and he has a swing and a miss right there. That's going to be out number 3. I got to tell you, it's one of those things where you come out to a field expecting some good competition, and when you don't see it, it can be a little frustrating, and then boys can play below their level and what they have expected of themselves. I got the lovely ladies over here asking questions literally like probably every minute and a half.
The lovely ladies he's talking about are our mothers. And they're trying to mime the question to me, and so I couldn't read their minds or their mimes. And they were asking what inning it is, and I said I think it's the top of the third now.
Top of the third.
And because we are visitors, we'll have to finish this inning.
Yes,
so
we will.
Unless these kiddos score 7 runs in this inning, the game should be over at the end of this inning. Does that make sense? Right? 15 after 3, so it's 22-0. They'd have to score 7 to stay in the game past the 3rd inning.
Well, and MacNSeitz continuing to stick with Brooks Carr out there on the hill, and why not? No run scored in the first and second.
And I was asking if I was right on that.
On what?
On the if they'd have to score 7 runs to stay in the game. That's a train. And nobody could hear that at home, but everybody turned. That's the fun part about this ballpark. If you're playing on the other side, you can see there's a train that rolls through in the middle of the game. And
yeah, the train's over that way, actually.
Yeah.
I think that may have been a trash dumpster. But
well, we've got headsets on, so I wasn't sure. It sounded like a train to me. Like where the cars, buckle together.
So see, and this is here. This is the kind of situation here. So we have an errant throw back from catch over to pitch, and it's one of those things that you really, when you're playing in a game like this, score now 22-0. You got to kind of tighten up, but it's easy to let your focus, your concentration that you typically have in a closer competition, and so your attention can kind of wane a little bit. I'd like to see these boys try to buckle down and just perform and execute, as we know they're so capable of doing. Brooks with a nice strike right there down the pipe. Count now 2-1. Or it was 3-1, and now walk. So.
Yeah, one of those pitches was definitely not a ball, in my
Talking about
unprofessional opinion.
Attention span waning.
He called that one a strike.
Runner goes. And runner feints as if he's going. Goes about halfway and then returns back to first base. So that pitch coming in 54 miles an hour. Well outside the strike zone. And nice breaking ball right there. For, I believe, strikeout number 2. Paul doing a great job digging that ball, keeping it right in front of him and protecting the runner from advancing. That ball caroms away, and the runner makes his way over to second. So Paul fundamentally doing the right thing, kept the ball in front of him, although it did glance off the glove and then rolled away to the right here. Did a good job hustling over to the ball and making a throw down, keeping that play close. And I think this is the pitcher up at the plate right now, Palmer, with a swing and a miss. And another errant throw back over to pitch. So Paul behind the dish, takes a deep breath, gets down in the ready position. Brooks from the stretch. Swing and a miss. Now 2-2 count. And Paul guns him down over at third on an attempted steal. And that'll be out number 3.
That should be the game.
And we'll take a look at how as the umpires meet here in the middle. I got to go back to the tournament rules here. Take a small audio break here.
So apparently the rules that I found don't apply to this.
I show this is top of the third.
Oh, that was only the bottom of the second. Oh, that was only the bottom of the second. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, okay, so then my rules should apply. Just gave us an extra inning because, yeah.
High fly ball, right side. Pitcher is tracking this one down, and unfortunately that one gets by him. Logan Peterson up, reaching on air. So 2 tournaments so far this year, and both to this point have been riddled with errors on both sides of the ball. Although MacNSeitz not with the opportunity to do a ton of fielding here in this particular event just yet. Certainly looking forward to tomorrow's game.
I think that ball actually grazed Paul, and he pretended like it didn't, and the umpire didn't see it. If I had slow-mo replay and zoom in, that's our next upgrade. Oh, foul ball to the left. That looked like that grazed him. But anyway, yeah. Deep left field, left center.
High fly ball.
Yeah, rolling to the fence. Oh, keep going.
So MacNSeitz tomorrow be facing Complete Athlete 14U. Complete Athlete is actually a team out of Blaine, Minnesota. So they've traveled quite a little ways to make it out here to Liberty, Missouri for this particular event.
and Paul has made his way over to second. So.
Yeah, Paul hit that one well deep, a high fly ball, and outfielder's not able to track that one down. Running hard, and coach over there at third base, holding up the runners and keeping the runners, showing some sportsmanship. So a couple balls to Tucker Lee here.
He just needs to swing at anything close. Just swing it. Okay, you can't swing at that, but. Oh.
Tucker fouls that one sharply to the right side.
If I was scoring the danger zone on that foul ball, I'd give that like a 7 or an 8. That was pretty. It was pretty close. And he fouled it the other way. Maybe this next one will go straight. What do you think?
Well, that pitch jamming him up, kind of going inside out and taking that the opposite direction. And with a half-hearted swing and a strikeout there, that'll be out number 1. Tucker, for whatever reason, really struggles with slow pitching. And anything below about that 55, 60 miles an hour, he just struggles with a ton. Hard hit ball, this one between third and short, gets through. 1 run will score. Runners now on the corners. That brings up number 11, Evan Book. Hard hit ball, this one over to short. That gets by his backhand. Run scores, and that'll leave 2 on first and second base. That brings up number 10, Grant Kelly, to the plate as he ducks under that first pitch for ball number 1. That catch does a good job keeping that ball in front of him. Swing and miss, and that'll be strike number 1. Wild pitch for ball 3. Not sure what Palmer's pitch count might be right now, but looks like he could be getting just a little bit tired. And Kelly takes ball number 4. That'll load the bases. Back to the top of our lineup, number 8, Reed Eckert, stepping in the box. So game changer, showing somewhere around 106, 107 pitches at this point. Not exactly what I'd like to see. But, again, I don't know if is that total? Yeah, it sure is. Oh, no. That's total. Ball in high. It's 113 pitches right now. And ball number 4, another run will come in. So, folks, not a lot to call here, and
I think this kiddo his arm's very tired now. They're going to have to get somebody else to throw it across the plate, I think.
well, and you got to figure this is just their first game and a 3-game guarantee. 2 games in pool play and 1 game in bracket play guaranteed. So perhaps they're trying to save another arm, but so, folks, just took a momentary pause there and was kind of conferring with my sidekick. I think at this point, obviously, base invaders well outmatched and whatnot. We're going to go ahead and keep the live stream up for anybody that might be watching at home. But I think we're going to go ahead and cut out the commentary because just not a lot of action to kind of call here. But appreciate you guys tuning in. Eager to see how the boys will play tomorrow. Again, we do have some weather coming in overnight and into the early morning, so we'll see how the tournament goes because obviously some early games scheduled tomorrow in the a.m., and we'll see if some of that rain pushes some of those games back. Good news is that the fields here are turf, and so they dry out quickly, and provided there's no lightning or thunder or intense storms, games will play. So if there is some momentary pauses in gameplay, that'll slide our start time back. If we come up with any of that information earlier in the day, we'll try and tweet that out and put it out on our Facebook page. But I appreciate everybody tuning in and cheering on the MacNSeitz boys. We're going to wish these base invaders good luck in the rest of their tournament, as this game is more or less a foregone conclusion. But appreciate their sportsmanship and hustle out and in and off the field and wanting to play some baseball. So good luck to the base invaders. Thanks again for tuning in, folks.